Here we go, it's that time again, the Austin, Texas real estate market update. Things are getting weird. Let's go. All right, my name is Paulie Campanero, owner of the Vision Realty Group, and today's conversation is around what's really been going on with the Austin, Texas real estate market. Now, we all know that we've lost value. We all know that things have seemed to stabilize. So I'm gonna go over the micro data, what's been happening month to month, because we're resourcing from the Austin Board of Realtors, which provides the report monthly, but is only tracking trends year over year. And man, so much has happened in such a dramatic fashion year over year that we really need to understand the data month to month. So when people are commentating on other channels from California or Florida, they're not specifically in on the nitty gritty for this type of data that gives you an idea on whether or not you should buy or sell real estate right now. And stick around to the end, because I'll make sure to summarize this data and give you a clearer picture on what that means for you to buy or sell. All right, so let's jump in on the most important piece of data that when anyone asks me, Paul, how's the market? What they're really asking me is, Paul, is the market going up in value or is it going down in value? And so that's dictated by the median price point. And in Travis County, the median price point stuck and stabilized at $537,000. Now for Williamson County, that number was $440,000, and that's down 1%. So when I say stabilized for Travis County, which is, Travis County incorporates more central Austin, the central metro area, North Austin, Northwest Austin, out towards the lake, Lakeway, Westlake, Lake Travis, that is obviously a lot more densely populated. And so that price point obviously is a little bit higher, and those numbers happen a little bit quicker in regards to appreciation or depreciation. And look, overall, since the peak of the market in May of 2022, the market lost 30% value across both counties, approximately. Some areas lost a little bit more, some areas lost a little bit less, but the 30% number is right about in the middle in regards to what the market overall lost since May of 2022. Now, we got to, from May to December 31st, that's when the most rockiness in regards to depreciation and just how quickly it fell. And then something weird happened in January. The market stabilized in January, February, literally the market evened out on median price point. And then something weirder happened in March and April of this year. The market began to appreciate again, and we saw 3% appreciation across the board in Travis County, Williamson County in March. April, we saw almost 5% appreciation. It was 4% and change in both counties. And then people started getting excited, rushing the market. We're gonna go over some of the data that shows that and what that means. And May then all of a sudden slowed down, because from April to May, Travis County, 537,000 median price point stayed right where it was. Williamson County went from 445,000 to 440,000. Not a big dip in depreciation, less than 1%. And in most markets, 1% depreciation in 1 month would maybe a big deal, like historically and traditionally, with appreciation of 4% in 1 year being average. I don't even know what average is anymore. I've been in the business 20 years, and since I've been in the business, the market's been cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? So 1% depreciation though, in the grand scheme of the picture in the greater Austin, Texas area, where we've lost 30%, is nothing. So it makes us feel good that we only lost 1%, knowing that that stabilization that occurred in January and February, that appreciation that occurred in March and April, a little bit of a loss is kind of in alignment with what we think is happening, which is stabilization, correction. Gaining 30 or 40% appreciation, which is what happened in Central Texas in 2021 into 2022, is not normal and not healthy for a market. So we needed some recorrection, because it just wasn't something that was sustainable for us to be able to continue in appreciation in that manner. Okay, so median price point is really the big indicator as far as what's happening, because people want to know the value of their home and equity that they gain or lose. And so that's always the biggest number that we need to talk about. But there's all this micro data that's important that gives us more indication in regards to what's happening month over month on the trend and what that might mean for you to buy or sell. So, hey, these are the type of conversations that we're having every day with people. So you want to know a little bit more about what's happening in your neighborhood, then comment below, email or contact us in the information below, because these are consultations that we're having with people every day, and there's no obligations and obviously no cost to that. So contact us for us to figure out how we might be able to help you with your situation, because every neighborhood's different. Let's look at the bigger picture in regards to Williamson and Travis County on closed sales. So I'm looking at the wall of fame here on the data for Travis and Williamson County, because having this up in our office helps my players, my guys, my agents have better knowledge and understanding so that they can have more intelligible conversations with people to help people make better decisions. Okay, so closed sales for Travis County was a little over 1,600 in May. Closed sales 1,600. That's up almost 500 sales since April. So a lot more people were buying in Travis County in the month of May. Now for Williamson County, 1,113 homes. That's up almost 200 homes since April. So a lot more activity in both counties. Now, and this next piece of data is really interesting because the average days on market was 57 days for Travis County. Stayed, again, stabilization, right in alignment with the stabilization that we talked about before. Days on market got as high as 82 days in February, and then has just been dropping progressively. So the story month to month has been that the average days on market has been falling and now stabilized. Properties overall are selling faster this year. Okay, we've caught momentum with that, with property speeding up. Part of it is that time of year. Yep, people are, there's more people tend to be out in May and June and July buying properties. And so I think some of that is that traditional seasonal activity. Okay, so for average days on market in Williamson County, 69 days, down from 83 days in April. Whew, that's a big jump. That's 2 weeks. Faster properties are selling, and that's pretty dramatic in regards to the amount of activity. Let's take a look at this macro data, and the macro data would be like I told you, Austin Board of Realtors is tracking year over year. The year over year trend on the report is that average days on market is up 56 days from this time last year. Now, this is a classic example of people misinterpreting the data or not understanding the data or not having clarity with the data. Now, when you look at this report and you say average days on market is up 56 days, trending from last year, you're like, wow, that's bad. And what you didn't see was April's report, which were down 14 days month over month. In just 1 month, we lost 14 days. Okay. This is why it's important on who you're talking to and what's happening and the data that matters and that may impact you. So that's why we're going over this, and that's why we provide the information. Okay, new listings for Travis County, a little over 2,200 homes new to the market in May. Now that's up 200 homes. Williamson County, just a hair shy of 1,400 homes new to the market in May. That's up 140 homes from April. Not significant and terrible. I will tell you though, at the end of the video, what's been happening in June, because those numbers are not out yet. Those numbers for the month always come out 2 to 3 weeks the following month. So that's why these reports are always done in the middle of the month or later in the month from the previous month, because we just don't get the data. It takes Austin Board of Realtors a while to composite that data. Okay, so from in the month of May, which in the month of June, it is very different, and I'll get to that. In the month of May, it wasn't a terrible increase in regards to the new listings. Now, the active listings, the actual homes on the market was 4,300 for Travis County. That's up 300 homes. And look, we could expect more homes on the market because more new listings came. Now, the X factor is pending sales. I'll get to that in a second, but active listings was up 320 homes. Again, not a terribly large number of homes to be up in inventory, because that's one of the key indicators where if the inventory is too high, right, supply begins heavily outweighing demand, that's when we start seeing depreciation happening. Now, overall, we experienced 3,000 homes sold a month in the greater Austin, the Austin Board of Realtors, the multiple listing service. So if we have, right now there's 12,000 homes on the market, and we're selling 3,000, 3,500 homes on the market, and the inventory, the months of inventory then is hanging around 4 months. Technically, we're still in a seller's market traditionally. Now, I get it, people's mindsets with buyers, there's apprehension, there's anxiety, price points are higher, taxes are higher, people are moving a little slower, but they've been moving faster the last couple months. And so we're not at a point, I think, at a tipping point where things are dramatic in regards to seeing more significant depreciation. That's where I'm going with this, is more significant depreciation, because the inflation of inventory is not significant. There's a little bit with that, with plus 300 homes in Travis County. In Williamson County, it was plus 184 homes from the previous months in regards to active inventory. Okay, now let me give you another little piece of macro data that would confuse you. Now, if you looked at this report and saw that the active listings from this time last year, which is what the Austin Board of Realtor report shows you, it shows up 125%. That's crazy. 125% sounds horrible. But remember just how low we were before. So we needed that inventory, and month over month, we're just, I think it's like 1%, less than 1% up in inventory from April to May. June is a different story. Stay around till the end of the video. Okay, so inventory is creeping, but not crazy. Pending sales for Travis County, around 1,500. Pending sales for Williamson County, just over 1,000. And pending sales for Travis County are just up a nudge, 31 homes. Pending sales for Williamson County, down 17 homes. So I'd say in both scenarios, pending sales have kind of stabilized. All right. Let's get to the nitty gritty here. Like, what does this mean? Should you buy or sell a home right now? Well, depends. Do you need to buy or sell a home right now? Because if you're a seller, most sellers who are selling because, number one, they have to. Somebody died. There's a job transfer. There's something significant that's forcing the activity for them to sell. Or they really, really want to, and based on timing, it would be advantageous for them, for some other reason, for them to really need to liquidate or to sell their property and move on. So really, look guys, in this market, there's obviously some volatility about what we talked about has happened. And we've talked about the numbers where we are. Now, where are we going in the future? Well, look, interest rates, according to the Feds, are not going to be going down significantly anytime soon. So with interest rates likely to hold the rest of the year, and activity beginning to wane. All right, let's go there. There's no key indicator that we can look at in regards to the number of showings for properties, which is the first line of defense for people who list a lot of property to understand what's happening with the market. Is the market speeding up? Is it slowing down? Well, the number of showings on our properties give us clear indication to that. If they're priced right, another story for another video. And so if there's less activity, then that's the boots on ground number for us to understand that the market is getting slower. And that's what's been happening in June. Less activity, less showings, less offers for properties that are priced right, based off of closed sales and pending sales, because we have to pay attention to that stuff. Sometimes the closed sales may not be as important as the pending sales, and sometimes even if the pending sales is lower than the closed sales and the active properties available are even lower than the pending sales, then we may have to price at or below that number, which a lot of agents get wrong because they don't understand how to price it right. Good idea for a good video. Okay, so what's happening? Properties that are priced right are sitting longer. And so we're seeing less activity with people coming through and showing properties that are in a price range that should cause more activity based off of what we see in the last 30, 60 days. Okay, so if the market's slowing down a little bit and you're a seller, then it may not be a good time to go to market if you can hold for a longer period of time. Because what I'm saying is that if the market's gonna skid across the bottom the rest of the year and you're thinking, well, I'll wait another month or I'll wait 2 months. Well, look, the Austin, Texas real estate market slows down mid-August because of school. I mean, since I've been here almost 7 years, it's happened every single year, mid-August slows down. Do properties sell after that point? Of course they sell after that point, but there's less activity. And if supply is creeping up and demand is creeping down, then there's likely that trend is showing that either we're going to lose a little bit more because there is nothing dramatic on the horizon, but if we're going to either lose a little bit more or skid across the bottom and continue stabilization, there's not a prettier picture down the road. And that probably means that next spring isn't going to be significantly better because we're in those winter months where, again, the market probably skids a little bit, and we're not going to see big chunks of appreciation likely that have occurred in the past. Now, what happened in March and April? Man, I think there was a little blips in there of interest rate improvements and people taking advantage of that. And there was a lot of people getting creative with how to put people into homes. And now I think there's a lot of apprehension and anxiety over the interest rate staying high, over the commercial real estate market and what's happening with large multifamily properties. There's a lot of anxiety and talk around a crash in that market. We may be feeling some hangover or side effect of that, but I think there's still, regardless of exactly what it is, there's still a lot of people feeling fear in the market. And for you to say, well, I'll wait a few months or I'll wait till next spring, you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice on whether that could really be a benefit to you or not. And if you've already lost 30% or you've already lost 20%, look, there's a fair factor that you could lose more. So this is what I'm telling people. If you want to sell sooner. If you can wait at least a couple of years, I'm thinking at least 3 years for the market to begin to recover back towards price points that you were originally hoping for. It'll take at least that long. Look, we lost 30%. We made up 7% in those 2 months, and then we lost another percent. So, how fast can we make up 20 or 30% loss? We're not gonna see those years of 30 or 40% appreciation anytime soon. So it's gonna take a few years for you to get back there. So look, you wanna live the life that you wanna live, go live it. Take that money for whatever that means for your life to be able to open up that next best chapter of your life so that you can take the equity that you have earned over the last 10 years in Austin, Texas, which has been significant, and take out that negativity that, oh, I missed the top of the market and I wasn't able to sell for $1 million. Well, look, oh, boo-hoo, you're only gonna sell for $750,000 now. I mean, come on. Think about the big picture on what that means for you, and if your why is significant in regards to what that opportunity brings for you, then look, pull the trigger and sell that property sooner than later. Make sure that you're having a conversation on how that can happen, because just even in the last 6 months, I've had conversations with people in the last 9 months, really, where I'm suggesting, hey, here's our marketing plan. Here's where you need to be. And they were just stubborn. And they wanted to try and start high. And that tactic or strategy in a market like this one is always a losing one, where the market has instability, where there's still some depreciation happening. And time is your enemy. And if you start here and the market's here, and then you adjust, and then the market has adjusted, that's called chasing the market. And you don't want that. And I've personally had clients who I've put it in writing that I'm suggesting this price point, and I'm suggesting this is what to do because I want to cover my butt, because I told them on where to start and how to start, and because they wanted to try and start high, they literally lost $50,000, $100,000. I had a guy recently where, bless his heart, we really left $150,000 on the table, easily. You know, I have people that are caught in flips where I get it. You know, margins could be tight, but we got to figure things out fast because the volatility of the market, just like that, we just saw it in March and April where things seemed to be getting hot and then boom, flatlined, done. So if you're going to be a seller, you got to be very careful for your strategy and your exit plan and your consideration to be able to hold for at least several years. Okay, now if you're a buyer, look, there's still good deals on the table for a property that's 30% off in value. Sellers are feeling the pinch where less people are coming through these showings or they're seeing similar properties for less and they got to make a move. And look, some of these people got to make a move. They got to make a move to make some sort of improvement to get someone to make an offer on their property. And look, they're out there. And this isn't ambulance chasing or vulture circling. This is you being able to take advantage of a scenario because someone's just going to have to do something and there's great deals out there. And don't let the interest rates scare you. Now, you're not going to put yourself into a situation where it's compromising yourself financially and that you're putting yourself at risk because you can't afford it. But that's why having, again, a conversation with someone to figure out what's my strategy and what can I do, because there's great deals out there. And oh, by the way, I've been doing this a while, and people who try to time the market in any investment field, those are the speculators, those are the losers. Those people lose more money than the people who jump in because the numbers make sense, because they're in it for the long haul. And hey, look, what's your vision? Because it'll be our mission to figure out what's best for you. And look, stay tuned, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, give us a call, shoot us an email, because we love conversations with people to figure out what's best for them. And we'll continue to share this data so that you can keep an eye on month to month what's happening and what it means to you.